Welcome to Guru Trader video for Thursday, May 27, 2010. Here's the 5 market movers that we're following today. 1 new symbol, 4 follow-ups. On the New York Stock Exchange, following up again on symbol S, Sprint Nextel, 511 up 20 cents. On the Toronto Stock Exchange, following up on symbol ML, Mercator Minerals, 171 up 9. On the TSXV Venture, new symbol KAM Kaminak Gold Corp, 133 up 43. Also on the TSX Venture, following up again on PIE, Primary Petroleum Corp, 23 up 3. And lastly, also on the Venture Exchange, following up on KEX Kent Exploration Inc., 18 up 1.5. Let's take a closer look at these. All right, we'll quickly touch on Sprint Nextel on the New York Stock Exchange, 511 up 20 cents today, 57 million shares traded. This is not a small cap, we realize that, but sometimes we'll comment on large caps if they're low priced. It's under $10, so we've been following it for a few days. Actually, we added Sprint on May 18th at 464, if I can read my handwriting. I don't think I need to go into what Sprint Nextel is. It just technically looks good. 578 on June 16th of last year. It bottomed out here late in the year, but here's where we picked it up when it started moving up here, and so today it traded as high as 517 and technically still looks okay. If you look at the 3-month, the 1 month, there's the 3-month chart, there's the 1 month chart. So even in this market sell-off, Sprint still looks okay there. And actually we added Sprint March 30th of last year at $3.50 some odd cents, and I think we took them off later in the year at 575. Also, ML on the TSX, Toronto Stock Exchange, Mercator Minerals. We first tweeted that one on May 21st at $1.49, so we thought we'd follow up on that one. The volume still looks good. Now this is a $333 million company, 194 million shares outstanding. The 52-week high was $345, which it did on January the 11th. The low was $1.03, which it did on July the 8th of last year. So it hasn't had a great looking chart, but I'm kind of mentioning this one as a possible bounce play. You know, I'd like to see this if I was trading this one, and I'm not. I'd like to see this one run up through 2. I might want to add to it if I was into it, but I would not want to see it go back below 150 again and see this slide continue. But anyway, they put out news recently on May the 17th, their financial results. Looks on paper like maybe they've turned the corner. They're still showing a loss here of $11.5 million. I mentioned this in my last video, but I like this down here where they mentioned they generated revenues of almost 24 million, 376% increase over revenues of 6 million last year. So I think that possibly gave the stock a little boost. Let's look longer term. And this stock, yeah, has been up over $10. And when it sold off in March of 2009, with everything else in the market, it had fallen so far. And they have production. This is not just pure exploration. That we added them to our top 30 stocks, and they're still on there actually. We added them at 55 cents March 30th of last year, and it went up to 345. It's down to not quite half of that, and hopefully we'll bounce back with the market later this year. Anyway, moving on. New symbol on the Venture Exchange, KAM Kaminak Gold Corp. First time looking at this one, 133 up 43 cents. Showed up on the percentage gainers up 47%. Also showed up on the volume actives. I'm not sure about that. Might not have made the volume actives, but it is active. Over 2 million shares traded out of 48 million. So that's probably 4.5% of the outstanding, if that's correct. $64 million company. Now 52-week high $1.10. Which it did on March 19th, the low 22 cents, which it did May 27th a year ago. So it's had a nice gradually sloping chart here, pulled back, and then boom, blew through those highs. And I believe, let me see here, I think that's a new high for the stock. If we look at the longer term chart, I'll get into this result. There's news here on May 26th. Kaminak drills new Yukon gold discovery. First hole intersects 17.1 grams over 15.5 meters. First glance, that looks like a pretty good hole. But anyway, let's look at the longer term chart here. Let me see here. Okay, there's the 1 year, and there's the 5 year. Looks like the stock's only been around since 2006, so that does look like an all-time high for the stock. So they have the results here. I'll let them speak for themselves, and I'll go down to the about section where they mentioned, yeah, there's a a conference call and live video webcast to explain the significance of these drill results announced today. If you go to their website, kaminak.com, I may want to check that one out later on. Hopefully they'll have it saved so you can replay it. There's phone numbers there too if you, well, obviously you have internet access, you're watching this video. Anyway, they're focused, blah, blah, blah. Extensive portfolio of discovery stage projects that offer world-class exploration potential and present exposure to strategic commodities with an emphasis on gold. I forget where their properties were. I just glanced this over. Is it Alaska? Supremo Zone. Coffee Project. White District, Yukon Territory. So anyway, that one's active. That's a big move, and let's see if that volume continues. We'll keep an eye on that one. And moving on, PIE, Primary Petroleum Corp. Still haven't checked into this one. They have, I believe, oil or gas properties in Montana and in Alberta, I believe. But anyway, it popped up on the percentage gainers today at 15%. Mind you, that's only 3 cents. 23 cents up 3 cents, and the volume 3.1 million. $21 million market cap. The 52-week high was 22.5 cents, which it did on May 26th, and the low was 3 cents, which it did May 27th of last year. So it broke through that 52-week high, traded as high as 25 cents a day. We thought it was worth mentioning again. Can't go into too much of their news here, but you may want to look at that, some of their properties. And May 25th, they put out Primary provides update on its land holdings in the Alberta Basin, Bakken in western Montana. May want to look into that. And they also, I think it was their Montana, okay, that Bakken in western Montana, that's their so anyway, they talk about, pleased to announce that recent funding has eliminated all of its debt and left the company with working capital of approximately 1.2 million. They talk about they hold working interest in 130,000 net acres in 2 Bakken potential prospects in Montana. So anyway, I can't go into all of that, but that's what they're working on. And okay, junior oil and gas company engaged in exploration development activities in Montana and Alberta. So let's look at their longer term chart. Yeah, very funny chart here. I don't know if they were halted for a while here. It's flatlined here at around $1. The 1 year chart looks a little more constructive here. So they've been moving it recently. So I'd find out what kind of news flow is coming. This is our third post since May 14th at 18.5 cents. And lastly, I thought this was a new stock, but we actually mentioned this one last October 25th at 20 cents. So it's actually down 18.5 cents, up a penny and a half today, 9%. I believe it might have made the percentage gainers, might have made the volume actives. I think that's where we picked it up, 3.3 million. Only a $7 million market cap, shows almost 40 million shares outstanding. The 52-week high was 24.5 cents, which it did on January the 13th. It's kind of gone down or sideways since then. Somewhat constructive chart over the last year. The low was 8 cents on September the 2nd. So hasn't broken that 52-week high. Like I said, just first mentioning it, see if there's any follow-up. Now they did, okay, this is the other reason we're mentioning it. On today they announced the Kent intersects 11.09 grams over 18 meters, including 1 meter at 99.1 grams at their Bonara Prospect Nawida Gold Project, and I think that's in Australia or New Zealand. I forget. And they also, if you read on the other news releases, there's some kind of spin-off going on where it's actually this Archean star that may have the property. I'm not sure. I haven't put the whole story together. But at some point, I think Kent shareholders will get 1 share of this Archean for every 4 shares of Kent that they own, so that maybe get a share dividend out of that as well. But anyway, I'd look into those results on the activity. It's we put it on our radar to keep an eye on it. Anyway, that's about it for today. Do your homework, trade safely. We'll talk with you tomorrow. Guru Trader videos and tweets are daily snapshots of 5 to 7 very active small and microcap stocks from all North American stock exchanges. We simply track stocks that are trading up significantly on news or making new highs on very high volume without any further consideration of company fundamentals. The point is to save time by focusing on only those stocks that are moving right now. Guru Trader symbols come from filtering market movers and from subjective observations. Our software cross-references today's volume actives, percent gainers, and dollar gainers, which are filtered down to just lower price stocks. We then look at each stock's charts for apparent uptrends, and news headlines for obvious one-day-only events to exclude, like a buyout, or for longer-term growth-related news like financials, drill results, patent approvals, etc. to include. This is similar to how many traders look for new stocks as a starting point for further research with their financial and investment advisors. This is not an advisory service, and conflicts may exist as we sometimes take positions, or featured stocks may have bought online advertising or IR support services. Any content published by Investors Guru Small Cap Stock Observer is subject to the terms of our privacy policy and disclaimer at investorsguru.com. For our other small cap stock channels, follow Twitter's Guru Trader Tweet in real time on your PC or mobile device at twitter.com/investorsguru. Subscribe to watch YouTube's Investors Guru video channel at youtube.com/investorsguru. Search Investors Guru at facebook.com and add us as a friend to see our videos, tweets, etc. that are all synced to post on our wall. It's free to sign up at investorsguru.com stock community for comprehensive quotes, newsletters, profiles, forums, etc., or to update your portfolio, watch list, alerts, and news by email preferences. Thanks for watching.